Happy Memorial Day weekend. Happy Sunday. Happy Day of the Soul. Quite often Sundays are reserved for rest, a day of deep reflection, a day of deep devotion, a day of connecting with your heart and your soul. Today I want to speak about breath. Breath is life. Breath is your connection to Source. Breath is God. God didn't just speak the word and all of existence came. No, actually God breathed life into the world, into us, spirit within. Every breath we take is a spirit, is God. So many people walk around or devotionally sit and pray. But do you know that every breath is a prayer? That every breath you take in, you're taking in God, you're taking in Source, the universe, all that is. Prana, life force. The life sustainer, maintainer, your breath. And so many people take it for granted. They hold their breath against themselves. They don't even take full deep breaths into the pelvic floor. They restrict, constrict, and even deny themselves the full richness of their own breath, the full breath of their life. The vastness and the more you open your heart and lungs to receiving the life force, the breath of Spirit of God, the richer your life, the more vital you are, the more life force energy you are taking in and giving out. For every breath you take in is a prayer, is a devotion. Why aren't we living that way? Why aren't we taking in the breath of God, of life, of Source in such a way that it is, wow, inspiring to us? Again, so many people, they pray. But they don't listen. They're not present. And the breath of life will bring you to the present moment. When you tap into your breath, this life force, you tap into this moment. You have to become present when you start breathing in and becoming, feeling. Every breath in is another life, another chance, another expansion of your being. We are human beings, not human doings. And God is breathing into us at every moment. When we take in the breath, we are taking in God. That is our connection, our unlimited, vast potential. That your prana, your life force, your breath is bringing God to you in every moment. And then you get to give back on the exhale. You're being cleansed. You're being energized, rejuvenated, rebirthed every time you breathe in and you exhale. You take in, it creates, it expands you. You exhale, it contracts, it releases what no longer serves you. But the average person doesn't even see the blessing and the gift in every moment that they receive. That for every prayer that you put out to the universe, you're always receiving God. God is always in you, with you, through you. Because also, your largest living, breathing organ is your skin. So you don't just take breath in through the nose or at the mouth. You take in the breath of life through every pore in your being. That this is expanding. That this is what increases your vibration, energizes you, invigorates you. It creates and destroys at the same time. Because that's what change is the metamorphosizing, the alchemizing. It's cataclysmic. It's a catalyst to your awakening, your unfolding, your just being, and maybe inspired to doing. Do you realize how juicy that is? How blessed are we that every breath we take in is the breath of God, that God breathes into us, the life force breathes life into us, that anything or anyone that tries to tell you otherwise is the contrary, that the breath you're going to take in is going to cleanse your spirit, your being, your body, your vessel, your temple that houses your soul. So breath is the spirit within you that you take in, that rejuvenates, restores you, and cleans you. It gives you clarity. It heightens your senses. That the more you can master your breath, you become aware of your mind. And you can master your mind when you're aware of the thoughts and the patterns and your behaviors and how they have dictated. Because when you come into breath awareness, you come into mindful awareness. They're hand in hand. And you can use the power of the breath to expand and work on the mind and be present with it. Or you can tap into the body's wisdom and the language that your body will tell and speak, because the body is always telling on the mind. So you have dual purpose in how to learn the inner workings, to understand your being, because it is the breath and a mind, body, soul. The breath is the spirit connection. This is the Trinity, the Holy Trinity. It's so simple, yet we make it so complicated. Us humans, we've lost touch. We've lost the breath awareness. And then our minds get out of control. Our minds go off in a crazy tailspin, taking us out of the present moment. Loses that touch, that awareness of your being. The more present you can be, the bigger gifts you receive and the gift you will be. Because we are here for one another. There is no man. Man did not give you the breath of life. Man cannot make you or take that from you, barring your actual life. That anybody who tries to tell you otherwise, that you should suppress it, is going against life. Again, evil is live backwards, inverted. The devil is lived backwards and inverted. If someone should tell you you should cover your face, that's the work of the devil. That's the work of evil. And when you really hone into that and you recognize you need to learn to trust yourself, and that when you tap into your breath and you're mindful of your patterns and behaviors, because you can master your breath and master your mind, then you can master your life. And when you know you and you are tapped in and turned on to your five senses, you heighten your intuition. The breath will expand your aura, your magnetic field. It will increase your vibration, your vitality. It keeps you youthful and alive. Powerful stuff. Powerful. But most people, they're cutting themselves off. They're not even getting full deep breaths into the lungs. They're not even getting past the throat. They're all choked up. In fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, when you are in the stress response, trauma response, you're triggered. 9 times out of 10, you're holding your breath. You're cutting off your own life support. You're the one dying the slow death, killing yourself, not in alignment with your body, not in tune with your breath, not tapped into your body's wisdom. You need the breath to live. And it's the one thing you can trust in, and that's constant, is your breath. Trust in breath. Trust in God. Anything outside of that is not. You don't need to go outside of yourself seeking answers, seeking guidance. Everything you need is within you. And the more you tap into your breath, the more you breathe more deeply, fully, You don't need coffee. The breath will energize you. Breath of fire. Oxygenates the brain, the blood, the organs. This entire vessel gets cleansed. It gives you clarity. Clear thinking, clear mind. It clears out the nasal passages. It cleanses out the blood. Detoxifies the liver, the organs, the lymphatic. You need to stimulate your body every single day. The breath is the easiest way to do it. What's wrong? What's holding you back? What is it in your life that you're unwilling to breathe into, to lean into? Notice how you breathe. Because every moment you take in that breath, that's a prayer. That's a gift. Bring yourself back to the breath. You bring yourself back to God and Source. When you can tap into your breath, you're back in touch with your connection to God. God is never forsaking you. If you're one of those people who feels God is out of your reach, breathe. It's always with you. God is you. You are God. God is in every single one of your cells. He made us in His perfect image. Don't deny yourself that. Don't reject that. That is the truth. And that is one truth that nobody, and especially man, cannot take away from you or deny you but you. We are our biggest obstacle. We're the first ones to deny ourselves what it is we are worthy of. You are worthy. You are God's source. You are in God's image, perfect, divine, beautiful. Every breath is a prayer. Every breath is a gift. Tap into that. Tap into your source. Tap into your truth. Your Sat-Nam, your breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Closing those eyes down. Just breathing long, slow, and deep into the pelvic floor. Expanding out the ribs. Creating space between each of the ribs and the chest. And just inhale and then exhale, lowering the chest, pulling the ribs in and containing at that belly, that core. Your breath is powerful and so are you. Make time to tap into it. So many people, you know who you are short of the breath. Your breath can heal you, oxygenate you, restore you, reinvigorate you, gives you clarity. You breathe in, the oxygen carries a lot of nutrients that you didn't even realize you need. There are people who live on prana, live on the breath. They're called breatharians. If you've never heard of it, research it. Sure, we could live off the breath, but most of us, we incarnated to have experience, to taste, to tap into our senses, to touch, to smell, to hear, to taste, to see. It's all a part of who we were meant to be. Don't deny yourself the full richness of this life and the vibrancy that you came to have. Experiences, powerful. Don't isolate yourself. We're all connected. And the breath that we take in, every time that we're breathing in God and the air, we're breathing in the same air as our ancestors. How beautiful when you're really present and really devotional in every breath you take. You want to manifest? Be in service for your breath, for God. See that the spirit you take in is what keeps you alive. It sustains you and maintains you. Anything else takes you out of your peace. Breath is life, breath is spirit, breath is God. And most people don't want to see that because that's a separate thing. We've been trained, conditioned that God is outside of us. God is above us. God is everywhere but here. Untrue. All more reasons to tap into your own source, your own tuition. Your intuition, the into me I see, is the connection to source, to God. That when you tap into the spirit within, you are tapping into God, tapping into source energy. Live it, love it, laugh about it. It's divine, and it's your birthright. Don't let any man tell you otherwise. Man doesn't give you permission to breathe. We're all made in God's image. And this is the gift of life that we take in every moment. So cherish it. Be grateful for it. Harness it. Master your breath, master your mind, master your life. It's the biggest gift you could give yourself. Don't let anything come between you and your breath. Because when you allow something to come between you and your breath, that's coming between you and God. It's a special, special, juicy blessing. And we need to really be more in awe of it. Breath is like, you don't even have to know the details of how it works. You just know. It keeps you alive. There's truth in that. You don't need science to prove it to you. You don't need somebody else to explain it to you. You know, because it is you. It's in every cell of your being. And now's the time to tap into it even more. This is the message for today. Now, how will you take this and run? It's a gift. It's beauty. It's divine. And so are you. Enjoy your Sunday and breathe your life fully, richly. You are God's source too.